Hello and welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. I am Pi. I took a week off of doing the daily video diaries. I focused on finishing the last week of my coursework in my master's program, so a little bit of a whirlwind for me, plus stuff going on at home, as well as some of my other endeavors, picking up speed and wanting to spend some time there. But I wanted to pop back over here to finding my way with Pi and the daily video diary, and to just at least at this moment in time wrap up a little bit from the last week. So I've been contemplating, or at least it's been in the back of my mind for a few weeks now, like, what am I gonna do? This year-long personal growth experiment of finding my way with Pi and doing these daily video diaries, examining my innermost thoughts and emotions. It has been a transformative experience, and it's beginning to come to an end. And naturally, I feel a shift in me towards some other endeavors. And so this last week, it wasn't a pre-planned thing. I just listened to my body. I listened to my intuition and said, one day I didn't do Pi, and then the next day I didn't do the daily video diary on Pi, and then the next day I didn't. And each day when I was going to bed, I thought, how do I feel about not doing Pi today? And just what came back to me is, it feels right. It feels fine. Take the time. Create the space. Take the time. And here's what happened in that week that I did not do finding my way with Pi. It gave me the space away from this personal growth experiment. And it allowed me to shift my attention to some other things. And then the answer came to me for how I want to wrap up finding my way with Pi. So this is the point I want to make. Taking the time away, stepping back, stepping away for a moment from something and not pushing, but instead allow it to breathe. Instead, allow it to become, allow however long you need for the answer you seek to come. Just be mindful of the questions you're asking. And here's what came to me. It is time to wrap it up. It is time for me to summarize what I've learned during this personal growth experiment. And I'm not going to do that today. I want to put some thought into this. It will be half thought, half pre-planned, half spontaneous, because I do want to stay true to the nature of finding my way with Pi, where it is unscripted and raw. So I'll do a little bit of a hybrid. Why? Because looking back on this experiment, looking back on this year, takes some self-reflection. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to jot down notes to myself, revisit things that I've learned, revisit things that I discovered about myself, and then kind of do a summary. And then I am going to allow the next personal growth experiment to come to me for what I want to do with this space. Also, while I took this week-long break this past week, one of the things that came to me was that I am ready. I am ready to begin coaching people. I have less than 6 months left in my master's program in happiness studies, after which I will be a certified happiness coach, and I'm ready to begin practicing. And finding my way with Pi is going to be partially that foundation for me to jump off from. I have discovered my life philosophy doing this. I have discovered my mission and my purpose and my values, and rewritten my life story in a way that, looking back, adds coherence to my life And taking this space this last week allowed me to see that this personal growth experiment is part of the coherence of my story. It is the foundation from which I will launch that coaching business to be able to begin doing that as well. That is part of how I will use my voice and my education to help others. Now, I'm also working on building a whole being community with my sisterhood, and we are letting it go through the messy creative process, all of us putting in time and effort and thoughts and contributing and feedback, and we're in the practice phase, and it feels wonderful. And in the meantime, I will continue, I will be coaching, I will be working on the whole being community, I will be writing. I'm going to continue writing my poetry, and I'll pop on and post some poetry in Poetry by Pi. I want to continue doing that. I've also been practicing leading meditations with hubby each week. You know, all of these things are little seeds that are planted, and there's no pressure. There's no pressure but which I put on myself for what I'm going to do with Finding My Way with Pi. And when I took a step back and relaxed and allowed myself the space, it was like all these other endeavors that are authentically aligned with where I want to go are naturally surfacing. It is the time for them. I feel it in my body. And so I know how I want to wrap up Pi, and I am going to take another break from Pi before I do that. We have got some travel coming up for the holidays, and I'm going to focus on my family during that time. I'm not going to work. I'm going to allow that time to be what it's meant to be. And then with the new year, I will consciously and mindfully do some reflection on the journey of finding my way with Pi and what I learned during that journey, and do a summary and a recap. And that will tie off this particular personal growth experiment. I will then continue writing my poetry and posting poems on here to share with all of you. And we'll continue practicing some meditation. We'll get some recorded, put them out there, hoping it helps somebody. And if not, the practice is wonderful. And I'm going to continue building the whole being community, as well as coaching clients. I've got 3 people starting with me in the new year. It's December 16th right now, and I've got 3 people starting with me the first week of January to give this a whirl. I'm so excited for it. Sometimes in our lives, we need to step back. We need to be able to figure out how do we want to move forward, but without time for reflection. That can be hard. Even if we've already got a lot of things going on that we do want to be involved in, that are authentically aligned with us, and everything is moving forward, when there's a little bit of resistance that's showing up, or you're feeling exhausted, or you're just unsure, or you've got the same question going on and on and on in your head and you're not sure how to answer it, they're all signs to just step back where you can. Don't push so hard. In fact, try not to push at all. Be patient, trust life, and the right answer will come by way of your intuition, by way of you having the space for the answer to come. If you don't empty, it can't come. You're already full. So it was a great week. I'm glad I did it. I will not be posting daily video diaries. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. There will be one more, the finale, so to speak, with the recap of everything that I learned from this year. And I'm also going to spend this break with my family during the holiday, contemplating on what is the next personal growth experiment that I'd like to do. And I can move these into playlists on Finding My Way with Pi. Finding My Way with Pi is a life philosophy for me now. And it is something that can be applied in so many areas. And I am finding delight in trying on these different personal growth experiments and seeing what I learned from them. It's incredible how much there is to learn. A big, huge, heartfelt thank you to all of you who have been with me on this journey, and all of you who will yet to be with me on this journey. I am so glad that you're here, and I hope it helps you too. I will see you later.